Welcome back to Cosmetic World, your trusted resource for hair colour education and advice. I'm Josh, and today we're going to cover a product that every stylist should master. I'm going to show you how to properly mix Schwarzkopf BlondMe Bleach for professional, optimal results every time. So let's get started. Whether you're looking for a platinum blonde, high lifts, or soft highlights, I'm going to show you the proper way of mixing Schwarzkopf BlondMe Bleach. I'm going to break it down step by step so that you can ensure that you will achieve the results that you're looking for, whilst optimizing your hair integrity and the longevity of the bleach color, with built-in bond-enforcing technology to ensure the best results. This means that it actively protects and strengthens the hair during the bleaching process. This technology also ensures less breakage, which provides better, healthier hair over a long period of time. The powder that I'm holding here is the BlondMe Premium Lightener 9+, which offers up to 9 levels of lift depending on the developer that you use and your processing times. Let's go into more detail about the different developers that you can use to ensure different results depending on what you're looking for with your hair or what your client wishes to achieve in the salon. Schwarzkopf's own developer for this product is their Premium Developer, which comes in 4 different strengths, depending on the outcome that you're looking for with your hair. These are 2% or 7 volume, ideal for a subtle lift or for sensitized or fragile hair with up to 3 levels of lift. The one I'm currently holding is 6% or 20 volume, which is ideal for controlled lightening and on-scalp use, and up to 6 levels of lift. There is also a 9% or 30 volume, which provides a strong lift and is suitable for off-scalp use with up to 7 to 8 levels of lift. Lastly, there is a 12% or 40 volume, which delivers maximum lift and is for off-scalp use only with up to 9 levels of lift. Please use this with care and always consult a professional first before using any of the different types of developers that we've spoken about in this video to ensure accuracy and that you're proceeding safely with colouring your hair. You can also use alternative developers, such as this one I'm currently holding by Moon Beauté, which we stock at Cosmetic World. We also stock a large range of other developers. Please check out our website today and remember to always consult professional advice first before using any of these products, just to ensure that you're using them correctly. We would always encourage you to do a strand test on your hair first, just to see how the application of colour will work. This will give you a sense of how much lift the colour will have on your hair, and if you need to make any adjustments before applying it, or partially, if that's the colour application that you're looking for. The amount of Schwarzkopf BlondMe Bleach powder that you will require for your hair will depend on how long your hair is and the type of application that you intend to use it for. You could be using it for an entire hair coverage, or just for highlights. The amount of powder that you'll need will range probably from around 30 grams to 80 grams. 80 grams being on the longer end of the scale if you have slightly longer hair and you wish to cover the entire hair, and 30 grams if you have shorter hair or you just want to make subtle tone highlights. And for more creative applications, where you just want to brush a slight amount of bleach into your hair but you don't want to give full coverage. Before we proceed with the full mixing process, let's just quickly run through the tools that you will need to ensure that you get the best out of your Schwarzkopf BlondMe Bleach. One of the most important pieces of equipment that you will need to ensure that this process is carried out accurately is a professional digital scale. Today we're going to be using the Babulous Pro, which is regularly used in salons around the world and is a very reliable tool to have in your salon. The reason why a digital scale is essential for this mixing process in particular is because you're going to be measuring out the amount of powder that you need, because it will vary depending on the application that you're looking for with your hair, as opposed to having it already measured out as in lots of other hair color applications. Another key component in mixing your BlondMe Bleach is using a non-metallic mixing bowl. The reason why it's non-metallic instead of metallic is that metallic elements could upset the chemistry of your mixture, and we wouldn't want that. So having something non-metallic just ensures that nothing gets affected and that your mixture is exactly as it should be and will give you the results that you're looking for. We are also going to need a pair of protective gloves. When using bleaches, sometimes it's good to have 2 or 3 pairs of protective gloves, especially if there are any spillages. This will ensure that your hands stay protected throughout the whole process. I would recommend having a few pairs handy just to ensure that you have protection throughout this process. A very key component in the process of mixing your Schwarzkopf BlondMe Bleach is a tint brush. This will be used for both mixing of your powder into the developer as well as applying it to the hair. The width of your tint brush will depend on the type of application you're looking for. The one that I'm holding is slightly on the wider side, and this is good for full hair applications. You may want something slightly narrower if you're only applying in subtle streaks to the hair. You're also going to need a non-metallic measuring cup so that you can measure out your developer and so that you can quantify correctly for the results that you're looking for. You will also need some tissue handy. You can also use the timer app on your phone to ensure that your processing times are accurate. This is key to getting the best results for your hair. You may also need sectioning clips. This will allow you to separate the hair into manageable quadrants for application. You may also need foils or balayage film. This will depend on your technique as well as heat retention. For this next stage in the tutorial, we are going to move on to which developer ratios you will need to mix with your BlondMe bleach. These ratios will vary depending on the effect that you want to have on your hair. The general mixing ratio for Schwarzkopf BlondMe bleach is between 1 to 1.5 and 1 to 2.5, depending on the effect that you want it to have on your hair. Choosing the right powder to developer ratio will depend on the technique that you're using, as well as the desired consistency of your mixture. And we're going to run through these now. For foil highlights and on-scalp lightening, you're going to want a 1 to 1.5 scale ratio of powder to developer. This ratio will create a thicker consistency and is ideal for even lift in close contact applications, such as hand painting and foiling. A 1 to 2 ratio, which is 1 part powder and 2 parts developer, is more of a traditional consistency. This is suitable for global applications. It will provide a smoother spreadability and is ideal for uniform application and touch-ups. And finally, we have a 1 to 2.5 scale ratio, which is 1 part powder to 2.5 parts developer. This gives the thinnest consistency and is ideal for quick application to hair when time is limited. The looseness of the solution gives better saturation. It also allows the lightener to remain active in open air. So there you have it. Now you have the confidence to know which amount of developer to use with your powder to achieve the results that you're looking for. Now let's move on to the mixing process. Let's now begin the mixing process of mixing Schwarzkopf BlondMe Bleach Premium Lightener 9+. First, we're going to place our protective gloves on. This will ensure that any potential spillages that occur won't get onto our skin. So let's open up our Schwarzkopf BlondMe Bleach Premium Lightener 9+. So we have our blue powder. In order to successfully measure out how much powder that we're going to need, we're also going to need a scoop to enable this. So the first thing you should do is place your mixing bowl on top of your digital scale. Let's bring that slightly closer in view so you can see that clearly. So we take our mixing bowl. As always, we set it to 0. This may take more than one attempt, so be patient. Okay, that's a good start. We're down to 0. Okay, so today we're going to be using 40 grams of powder of BlondMe bleach, and we're going to be mixing at a 1 to 1.5 ratio. In order to have the correct ratio, we're therefore going to need 40 grams of powder and 60 milliliters of developer. So let's start the process by putting our 40 grams of powder on top of our scale. So we take our scoop. Let's start with that amount. Okay, quite conservative to begin with. I think it's always better to be more gradual, to take your time to ensure full accuracy over the amount of powder that you're measuring. Okay, so 34, 36, 40. That's perfect. Brilliant. So we can put our BlondMe bleach and our scoop to one side and continue the process. So the developer that we're going to be using today is Schwarzkopf's own BlondMe Premium Developer, which is an oil-intense formula. As we mentioned previously in our video, a 6% or 20 volume developer is ideal for controlled lightening and suitable for on-scalp use with up to 6 levels of lift. If you go higher than this, to 30 volume or 40 volume, these are not suitable for on-scalp use. Please always check with a professional before using any of these products to ensure that you get the results that you're looking for and that you're using them safely and correctly. You can also use alternative developers, such as this one by Neem Beauté, which we carry at Cosmetic World. This is the 20 volume version. We also stock a 10 volume, a 30 volume, and a 40 volume. Please check us out at cosmeticworld.ca today for more information. So we can turn our scale back on. We take our developer. So we already know that we have 40 grams of BlondMe bleach in our mixing bowl. And to create our 1 to 1.5 ratio, we're therefore going to need 60 milliliters of developer in our mixing bowl. So let's do that now. So that's 10. Okay, halfway there. Try and spread your developer around the bowl. This will make it a lot easier to mix into your powder. So we're almost there, just a little bit more. Okay, that's perfect. Now we're on 60. It's always best to store your developers in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight where they could be damaged. Now that we have our powder and our developer in the same bowl, it's time to start mixing the two together. For this, we're going to use a large size tint brush. At cosmeticworld.ca, we stock a large range of professional salon quality tools that you can use. Please check out our website today for more information about the products that we have available. And the best thing to do is just to slightly sort of go backwards and forwards and sort of dab into it is the best way. You kind of want to use the brush and leverage it as much as possible. You sort of want to turn and press, pressing quite lightly whilst turning. And this will allow the BlondMe bleach to bind with the developer. It's always best to take your time in this process and really look for areas where the powder is still sitting at the bottom. This is why I said it's important, as you're pouring the developer into your bowl, to distribute the developer quite evenly across the bowl, and then that will allow you to mix as easy as possible. Okay, so it looks like we're slowly getting there. Because our ratio is 1 to 1.5, as you can see, the consistency is much thicker than if we were to use, say, a 1 to 2.5 ratio. This is ideal for slightly slower application. If you want something which is more fast applying, then you're going to want to go for the higher end of the scale, which is a 1 to 2.5 scale ratio. Okay, so just checking at the bottom there, you can still see a few sort of slightly lumpy bits, but we're just going to drag those into the overall mixture. So just gather as much as you can of those remaining bits on the edges of the bowl. Also very important. So I would say we're about there now. As I say, that kind of thick, quite viscous texture is what you're looking for. Okay, let's set that aside for one moment. And if we're looking to achieve a 1 to 2.5 scale ratio, considering that we already have a 1 to 1.5 scale ratio, which was 40 grams of powder to 60 milliliters of developer, in order to achieve the next version of our mixture, we're going to need an additional 40 milliliters of developer. So let's do that now. Okay, so we need another 40 milliliters, thus bringing our total up to 40 grams of powder and then 100 grams of developer overall. Again, distributing evenly across your bowl is very key for this. This is just for demonstration purposes, just to show you the differences in consistency across the two ratios. This ratio will give us the thinnest consistency of the three different options. The looseness will give better color saturation while allowing the lightener to remain active in open air. This is best for quick applications when time is limited. Schwarzkopf recommends up to 45 minutes of processing time for BlondMe bleach application. It's always best to check every 5 to 10 minutes to see how much degree of lightener has been applied to the hair, as well as to check the hair integrity. We would not recommend using any heat on your hair. This could cause an uneven lift and compromise your hair integrity, and is best avoided. Once the processing time is complete, rinse the bleach out thoroughly with lukewarm water until it runs clear. In the BlondMe range, Schwarzkopf offer a range of different products, including shampoos and conditioners that you can use once you have bleached your hair. By using a product like BlondMe Keratin Restore Bonding Shampoo and Hair Mask, you will ensure that the bleach takes to your hair as best as possible. This product will lock in moisture, seal the cuticle, and make sure that your hair is protected to preserve the bleach as much as possible. We would recommend checking out our website cosmeticworld.ca for specific BlondMe products from Schwarzkopf's range that will allow you to get the most out of your BlondMe bleach application. Check out our website today. We would also recommend waiting another 48 hours before shampooing your hair again. This will ensure that the lift you have applied to your hair will take as much as possible and will be protected. Over shampooing your hair during this 48-hour window could lead to loss of lift, and we wouldn't want that for your hair. We hope that you find this video helpful. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you have any questions about BlondMe Bleach, please put them in the comments below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, check the links in the description for more information and tutorials about how to use these products and other similar professional products on the market. At cosmeticworld.ca, we offer a range of salon quality tools, including hair care, hair color, and other tools that you might need in your salon. Please check us out today.